April 7th, and it's my running down the men's Bible study weekly rant. Oh, I guess this is going to be a weekly rant now. Oh, exciting. For those of you that do see it, they're fun. I'm driving down, and still dark, so here we are at the terrible light. So that's why last time I think Roger finished. Thank you, Roger, for putting up a background, at least a springtime background, so you don't have to look at this ugly mug in the shadows all the time. So hopefully you'll enjoy that much better, because this is kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But oh my God, let's have a little story. Okay, for all of you that aren't aware, Russia, I guess, is now accepting rubles and gold for payments of its oil, its gas, its wheat, all of its exports, and caused the gold prices to spike a little bit. Of course, they're going to still try and manipulate that, but it's going to be an interesting thing. There could be another reserve currency coming up, folks, and it won't be the dollar as the dollar plummets, because the people that have been printing the dollars are in trouble now. Because they cannot increase interest rates without it having a deflationary effect, which would cause more people to bail out of the dollar and seek other currencies like the ruble. Oh my, this is going to be fun. This next year, let me tell you what, and that's about, we have less than that to prepare. You know, one of the things about being the sheriff is you can do a lot of things to protect yours and mine's rights and our way of life and our life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I know a lot of you get tired of hearing that stuff, but it's the damn truth. Come on, we got to fight for it. And one of the things we're going to have to do as food becomes more scarce, fuel becomes more scarce, we're going to probably have to encourage, maybe, and this is up to you folks, we'll debate it, discuss it, but we'll probably have to encourage what little bit of LP production that we get, that we can go ahead and tap into that and maybe start converting some of our vehicles to natural gas, which we have a lot of in this area. It's fairly clean burning. You need a little filtration for it. It's kind of like a coal. It falls, the emissions fall down fast from it. Plus it does produce H2O. So that's pretty good. So that will help put more moisture back into the atmosphere. So that's a good thing. So we also are going to have to figure that we have all of our fields that are down in Arborlees and Allison that are currently growing hay for cows and for animal livestock feed. We're going to have to encourage them to start growing wheat, corn. Oh, my battery fell out. Sorry. Hang on. Let me get it back in. Wheat, corn, vegetables, all kinds of things that can go in the market. More chickens, more poultry, more pig. We're going to have to start encouraging a lot more livestock, because we're going to have to be able to use those things. And simple as a dozen eggs, So we're going to have to be looking down the road, not only just what we have to do in our county to clean it up, but we have to look what's going on around us as well. And this is the big picture that's going to affect all of us. We are all going to suffer from this, folks. This isn't going to be easy, but at least we won't have the Bar Association, which it runs the judicial system, which in turn runs the Sheriff's Department, which is the enforcement arm of the judicial system. It is not questioned by our current sheriff and undersheriff. They go along, and this is not good. We have to ignore the statutes and the mandates, and that's what my opponent's going to be doing. He wants the statutes and mandates because he's not from America. Holy smokes, think about it. He has no idea, other than it says, oh, the Constitution. He doesn't know what it truly means to live it, because he came from a foreign country that was a commonwealth. And that's a whole different system. And once that's ingrained into your mind, you're going to keep it there. And Commonwealth is basically run by the crown. It's total control. Oh, my God. It's to make believe that you're free. Yeah. Okay, that's exactly, if that's what you want, vote for the guy. And further our enslavement, huh? That's the difference here, folks. But our job is not going to be easy, like I have said in previous videos. It is going to be tough. So don't think it's going to happen overnight. Don't think one person's going to do it. It's going to take all of you to do it. All of us. And so that's why we formed the General Assembly, so we can have the discussions, because we have to look at our food sources, our fuel sources. We have to see if there's an opportunity. Oh, God, I would love this. If we could find a silver or gold mine, because we do live on a fault, and I'm sure there's usually at fault lines or near ancient volcanoes and stuff, there are enormous amounts of these resources that if we can go after them and get them and create our own damn currency, because that's a really good big possibility. Oh God, I love that, because we already got our own bank set up through the Treasury, and that would work out really good. So just something to think about, because there is a lot of things happening around us, and please don't ignore it, because it will have an impact. They're going to try and push this thing off and make everybody feel, like, oh, everything's okay. Oh, don't worry. Well, come on, don't believe the lie. What do they call that? Drinking the Kool-Aid or lemonade or whatever the hell they call that damn thing. Come on, folks. Yeah. You got to see the bigger picture here. We are in a world of shit, and the only way we're going to do it is if we stand together. If we do not have control of our own county government, we will not have control at all, because we don't control it right now as it is. Look around. Look the way these people are voting. Look what just happened to the courthouse. I don't agree with them selling it off for a song, to the people that were there, Bobby Hart, and I think his name was Schultz, some guy on the phone from Texas that put in his bid late, and they sat back and accepted it, and Ronnie Mae says, well, we're just going to have to go after the highest bid. It's like, wow, you just kind of slapped the two local contractors in the face, and then our illustrious county attorney, Todd Weaver, gets involved and says, there's no more comments. No more comments. No more comments. And people were going, wow, what the hell are you doing? It was a sad demonstration of who really runs our government. Back to one of my articles. Who runs the government? Look it up on my website. Oh, does the county attorney really run the government behind the scenes? Read it. For those of you that just want to bitch and complain and send me emails bitching and complaining, read the frickin' articles on the website. Maybe you'll get an idea what the hell's going on. Holy smokes. Being on this Facebook thing has been an interesting ride. I've never been on this stuff before, but shit. I am telling you. Wow. Okay. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of people out there that don't get it. And I don't know how many times you got to thump them in the head. They don't get it. Look at the bigger picture. Stop whining about these little things, because at some point, you're not going to be able to whine about anything. Do you understand what that means? Protect your freedoms, protect your rights. Look at the bigger picture so you can snivel about little things later on down the road. But holy smokes. I sent out an article here a while back about the U.S. history so somebody can get an idea. Some of you thought I was a conspiracy theorist. Really? Look it up. And Greg Gelt, thank you so much. I'm going to put that out as soon as I get a chance. But Greg wrote an article. Hopefully the Sun prints it. I'm hoping Bill will print it. I know he will. Bill's a good guy, Bill Hudson. And it fills in some of the blanks. The last two articles Greg's written have been excellent. He's filled in. I gave a snapshot of it. And, there's variables. There's, little bits, because it's hard to shuffle out or whatever. But Greg did a phenomenal job in the last two articles explaining to you why and how we are here today, and the same things control us as they did back then, and how things changed and who was who. And we got betrayed way back then, and we need to take that back. And if you can, brush up on your articles of Confederation. Lord knows it's a lot I have a hard time remembering it all. People have to ring my bell sometimes. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that now. And then I can go ahead and explain a little bit to it. Or if I'm not certain of the understanding, we throw it out to you and we discuss it and see what the founders wanted and intended for us and how to live by. That's a great thing. So anyhow, that's it. And one thing I want to touch upon too on another hauled track besides that I wanted to get out right away is homeowners associations. Oh, what little dictatorships we have grown into. And the people that are running these things, Yeah. Interesting how personalities give somebody a little bit of power, and look what happens. All of a sudden their feet get 12 inches long. And yeah. Yeah, that shit's got to come to a stop too. Yeah, that's where statutes and codes and getting away from them are going to have a bigger impact. Because, you know, there are such a thing as private property rights. Lots of disagreements on if there's lines there and what should be done and not should be done. And, you know, if it impacts other people next to you, is it your private property rights? Are you taking advantage of somebody else? So there it goes back to what we talked about earlier, was responsibility. One of the things we're going to have to get into our minds is, as we become independent of the state, we become more free. With freedom comes great responsibility. We can no longer think of ourselves as me, me, me. We have to think of others now as how we are impacting others. It's not a hard thing to do. Actually, it's called responsibility again. And we should have that. We should be considerate and concerned what we are doing, how it might affect somebody positively or negatively. And we have to make a judgment call on those things. So, you know, that's where we're going to have to get rid of our selfishness and the me, 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 and start thinking of we, because it's we, the people. And so, yeah, so we're going to have a retraining of the mind, and we will have classes once I get elected, and we will have constitutional classes. We have a variety of classes that are going to be mandatory to everybody. Understand that? Because you're going to have to learn and change your way of thinking in order for us to be able to think as a free people. When you are enslaved this long, like we have, even though we believe we're free, we are enslaved. We are beholden to them in every category. You just don't see it. Most people don't see it. And it's a form of enslavement. And the next step to that is the social scoring. Yeah, let's look forward to that. I won't get very far. I'll be blackballed and in the frickin' red in a matter of hours. Oh my God, he said what? He did this? We can't have that. No. Get him down. Get him off. Oh, I get to a certain point, and then I get to go to a re-education camp. FEMA. Woo, here we go. FEMA. Oh, isn't that what my opponent, that under sheriff, is touting? Getting money and grants from FEMA. So we can have the re-educational camp, so we can be retrained into enjoying servitude and enslavement. You will own nothing, but you will be happy. Yes, you'll be happy. Yeah. I wonder what kind of drug that's going to involve. Sorry. But it is so obvious what is going on. And for the majority of people not to see it, it saddens my heart. But, you know, once they do see it, oh my God, they become livid. Well, yeah, better late than never to the show, you know. But, yeah, it's just like a next smoker. Oh my God, you start smoking around a next smoker, and they get irate. They can smell just how awful that shit is, and you can smell an ashtray hell a mile away. There's times when I'm driving down the road, if I have my windows down, a beautiful day, and the car in front of me, somebody's smoking in it, it'll suck right into my car or my truck, and I'll have to smell that crap too. You know, I'm nothing against smokers. You know, you smoke, you have the right to smoke. But, you know, you have to also realize that, you know, there's not other people out there that don't, and be respectful of their not wanting to be impacted by that. It's responsibility. It's not hard, you know. And, you know, go outside, go do whatever you got to do. It's no big deal. You know, and yeah, we were at the BOCC meeting on Tuesday, and it was funny. Oh my God, it was good. Of course, they tabled it. They pushed it off. Too many people there. But the whole room, when everybody came in for it, you could smell the pot. You could get a contact eye in there. I loved it. It was funny. Oh, yeah. It was good. And, you know, then people have rights too. You know, there are a lot of ailments that go on, and THC and CBD are great for it. You know, I grow 3 plants, and those 3 plants through the year, in the last few years, I've had a really tough time. I just haven't had the time to take care of them, and they didn't turn out really well. I took care of them pretty good, more than most, but still, I couldn't get much out of them. And I don't know why the last couple of years it's been like that, but I do. I compress them down, and I make my oils, and I make cookies. because the arthritis in my feet and my hands is getting worse and worse. And thank God that takes the edge off. When I go to the hot tubs, like after I go to Bible study this morning, and I go to the hot tubs and I do my stretches there, and I try and get at least minimum, 1,200, 1,500 stretches in. That depends on how many people are in there and how much time I have. But normally when I got it by myself, I'll do 26 to 3,200 stretches in an hour and a half between the one inside, the hot one inside, and the one outside. And I get myself a good sweat because I'm getting older. I need to keep myself limber. And if I want to be sheriff, I have to be in freaking shape, at least a little bit more than a lot of them are. That's going to be another question that we're going to have to address is physical fitness. Health is everything, because then it's less medical bills. And the county has to pay less in medical bills. So yeah, getting in shape and diets are going to be very important when I get in. So be ready for that, guys. There's nothing wrong with that either. As I come around the corner here, sorry for the bouncing, but yeah. So anyhow, after I'm done with the hot tubs and my sweat, sometimes if I have a few minutes, I'll lie down and let the sweat kind of roll out of my skin and cleans and detox my skin, and then I'll go ahead and I make these oils out of that THC and CBD plants, and that's where most of it goes. And the oils last me for a year. And what it basically has in is coconut butter, shea butter. I put grape seed extract into it. I put aloe vera into it. I put aloe into it. I put vitamin D into it and vitamin E into it. And so that way it's really good for the skin. And I put that on, and it does keep my skin good, and it does penetrate down. And in concert with the cookie, I take a half a cookie a day, and in concert with that, it helps to relieve that arthritis pain that I have. And let's not forget, the other benefits of that too is it's a great cancer preventer. It really does help prevent cancer. I'm not kidding you. There are so many people that are starting to testify to that. And at my age, when you start getting this point, you start looking at, wow, this is the time you start getting cancers from all the bullshit that you did earlier in life, because it's accumulative. And it adds up to a certain point, and then it starts affecting. As your body gets weaker, these things get stronger. So this helps prevent a lot of things. I'd hate to think of all the wonderful things that it prevents. So I understand that the people's medical need for this, and that the county should not regulate this. This should be done by a doctor who understands that it takes so many plants to get so much concentrate into a smaller amount that you can put into either an edible or, like me, for a cookie, or it depends on what your ailment is and needs are, and only a doctor can determine that. We cannot let the state and the county make those things. Those are other statutes we're going to be getting rid of. We're going to make up our own rules here at the General Assemblies. We will get to this category. The first categories we got to get to, of course, is securing our freedoms. But yes, in order to get to these categories, we got to secure our freedoms first. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you? And when we do, and I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, I'm trying to be factual and truthful to you, and I'm trying to raise my voice a little bit so you get that I'm being serious, that this is a real problem that we got to deal with. We just can't shrug these things off and kick the can down the road and expect it to take care of itself. It ain't going to do it. And they're taking care of it for us, and you don't think that's going to be a pleasant road to go down? Look what they're already trying to do. A perfect example of that was what we were just talking about, how the state's trying to control what you can and cannot do with your property and how much you can take and not take. Really, are they doctors? Are they medical professionals? Hell no. All they're looking for is a frickin' revenue stream, everybody. Oh my God, the planning and zoning, she's a very smart woman, but they're looking at a revenue stream because they want to tag when you're getting these permits $100 or some stupid thing, and that's going to go up. And then they created some free permit. It won't be free for long. Really? You're going to believe them? Holy, it's just another future taxing revenue. And yeah, it's all about revenue. It's all about money. The court systems is a revenue stream. The commissioners, the BOC, it's a revenue stream. The town of Pagosa, my God, what a huge revenue stream that is. That's got to change too. We're gonna have to merge them both and reassess what our needs are. We're gonna have to do an audit, and when we combine the two governments, we're gonna have to make sure that it's beneficial to you and me, not to special interest in going out of the state. That's got to come to a halt, people, and that's going to take all of us to do. It's just not going to take me. It's going to take all of us. And you have to be ready for that. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be the thing that we have to do if we want to secure our freedom. And like I talked about earlier, water, too, is going to be critical because we're going to have to start converting our fields to food sources. That's going to take a lot of water. So let's address the water. Oh, we got a couple. Oh, here's another long video. The water. Yeah, the San Juan is already crested. Well, do you think that's early, everybody? Do you think the snow off the mountains is already pretty much gone? Look at the temperature this week. It's going to be in the 50s. Yeah, this is a little bit early. And the ground never froze again, so all the runoff just goes away. Nothing stays in the ground. So, yep. So we got to take a look at the water. How are we going to get water to those fields? We will probably have to take the bull by the horns and say, you know what, I'm sorry, LA, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, your fun days are over. And it's at our expense? Screw you. Who the hell do you think you are taking our water and using it? You still got your golf courses, your green lawns, your Bellagio shooting tons of water up in the air. And believe me, they're stealing water out of Lake Mead and violating what treaties there is. Look at LA. Holy smokes, they're living in a fantasy land down there. Same thing in Phoenix. The growth in Tucson, the growth in all these communities is unprecedented. Wow. And they keep building and building and building. And where's all this water going to come from? They think it's going to last forever? No. Look at the lakes right now. They're way, way, way down. What's Lake Powell? 28%? It's almost to the point where they got to shut it down because they can't run their turbines anymore. And I think Lake Mead is right behind it. Well, this is a main source of their water down there, and that water comes from us up here. Okay. So are we going to have to tighten our belt and say, no, enough is enough? I would think so. Hence, we have our own posse. Yay! I want every able man, woman, and young adult, 18 or over. We're going to have training classes. We're going to form our own posse. And I'm sorry, but for right now, it's going to be volunteer because, resources. But, this is part, of your civic duty, too. And we will form a posse. We will deputize everybody. We will take oaths. We will have classes, constitutional classes, and we will have respect classes. We'll have scenario classes because let's face it, there's a lot of times the street signs on the road or signs, they don't apply. And they shouldn't be held firmly. There's always situations that allow for variance. It's up to everybody individual to respect that and be within their limits. Now, there's times when, you have to be outside the sign. And that has to be understood and recognized. It's like seatbelts. Let's take seatbelts, for instance. I don't like wearing a seatbelt. I think it's bullshit. There are some places, if I do get into towns or cities, where the traffic is really bad, I'll put the damn thing on. But for the most part, I don't. If there's an accident or something happens, I want to be able to get out of my vehicle. I don't want something to get stuck, to break, to malfunction. I want that to be my choice, not some enforcement agency's choice, because all that is a revenue stream. Oh my God. I got a ticket one time. I was outside Sanders, Arizona, driving down towards Tucson, headed towards Holbrook. And I got pulled over because the officer thought that I had passed a truck, and he got mad because I didn't turn on the turn signal. And so after I had passed the truck, I went probably several hundred yards ahead of the truck and just eased back in. And the officer apparently thought that, I broke some kind of a law. No, he pulled me over for this stupid thing. I have Colorado license plates. Does everybody recognize that too? And this is just after the legalization here a few years back. And so I told the officer, I said, no, I didn't have to signal because I was so far ahead it wouldn't have made any difference. Now, if there was traffic and I would have had to get over faster, yes, I would have let him know. But when there's no traffic and just me and him and I'm so far ahead, what difference does it frickin' make? Well, then he sees that my seatbelt is under my like it is right now. It's under my shoulder because when it goes over the top, it rubs my neck and I get a frickin' rash. And I don't like that. That's bullshit. So I put it under my arm, and he gave me a $95 ticket because my seatbelt, even though it was on improperly. It would still function as a seatbelt, be it over my shoulder or under my shoulder, and apparently I guess he figured that if something happened, I'd slip out of it and fall through the window. Really? What a frickin' summation that was. And so I get this frickin' ticket, and of course you're driving in a small town. You don't have the time to go back and fight it. So you end up just paying the stupid thing, and so it establishes a precedent. How many of you have been caught in that ball game? It's just cheaper to pay them off. And that's bullshit too, because there we go back to having classes that posse and current police officers and town officers that join with the deputies, that we can look at the variables like that. Because you know what? Yeah, that was a bullshit call. And that was a revenue stream thing. They were probably down there, who knows how many they're pulling over a day down there. And in other places too. You all know what I'm talking about. It's everywhere. It's always about money, and we take for granted that each individual person's situation is different, and it shouldn't always be about money. Oh, God. Think of all the controls and shit that are out there, all the things you can do. Yeah, in my OHA, they're going to cite me for Class 1 misdemeanor for mischief because of an issue over a gate that I had for security. And I had permission to put it there, and they illegally cut it down. And, so I put part of it back up. And, they had 2 deputies come out. What a waste of time. If I wasn't running for sheriff, do you think they'd have come out over something stupid like that? What does it really take to get a deputy out? 2 of them came out. Oh, Wayne Bryant. Oh, my God. Yeah, let's go out and see if we can get him busted and get him off the ballot. Okay, well, it's all supposedly pending. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Class 1 misdemeanor for mischief. Really? Unbelievable. Mischief. Is mischief illegal now, too? Wow. Okay. So here we go. Exactly to the point that I'm getting at. So that's it. I don't want to take any more time because I know these things are long. So thank you for listening. And I guess we'll have another fun topic next Thursday. We're a little bit behind getting it on the website, last week's video, because we went to the BOCC meeting and it lasted, I had to leave at little after 4 because I was a poll watcher for Sarah Cole to be able to make sure that the ballots were counting right for the town. That's another interesting thing. We can go into that later, if anybody wants to talk about that. But that was interesting watching them and seeing what they did. And so anyhow, that's another interesting topic. But yeah, so anyhow, thank you all very much. Hope you have a good weekend. And hopefully we'll get that video up from last week up and then get this one up next week. So that way we can always stay in that weekly loop. Okay, folks, we'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.